TMS Ruge, welcome to Voice of America. This time, hopefully, it works out.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again.
But you are with Connect4climate.
Yeah, I'm over at the World Bank at Connect4climate.
Tell us about that project and what is Connect4climate?
Connect4climate, primarily a platform for people that care about the climate change, and what it is a platform for all of them for a global conversation, and primarily to also engage with Africa's youth on the effects of climate change in their particular locale. We're kind of flipping the normal paradigm of communication in issues like this heading into Durban in December. We want to hear about Africa's youth and what it is that they know about climate change, what it is that they want to know about climate change, and also aggregating those partners that have that information that we can share with them in particular, whether it's research, papers, educational materials, solutions, but we're also looking at them to see, for those that know about climate change, and the evidence of climate change in their particular locale, they could share that upstream. So we're reversing the communication paradigm by listening.
What is it about climate that should make an young African listen and get part of this conversation?
Well, we think it's important because if you look at the demographics of the continent, over 50% of us are under the age of 30, 70% are, well, 50% under the age of 15, 70% under the age of 30, 35. Climate change is going to be important because this is their future. This is what they're heading into, and it's good for them to have a conversation now so that they're sensitized to the issues. As the continent continues to modernize and continues to grow its middle class, we're going to have a lot of strain on natural resources. The continent isn't very well energized, for example, so indigenous people are cutting down more trees to create more charcoal. We need to figure out different ways that these young Africans can contribute to creating better ways to access to energy.
Alternative ways.
Yeah, alternative ways that don't put an additional strain on the continent. We have those local solutions. I mean, do we go to, instead of grid provided energy, do we go to distributed and push solar energy? What do we do about water? Those kinds of things. So all of that conversation is really tied into the continent's development and the people that are going to be occupying that middle class, that growing middle class. We're going to need to have solutions to address the things that they will need.
Okay, and this is leading up to the big meeting in Durban.
Yep.
In December, November to December, end of November,
beginning of December.
And what do you hope the policymakers or the leaders who are going to be part of that conversation or the meeting take from young people's voices that are going to be aggregated on your platform?
Well, we hope that we can create a critical mass that can that we can present at Durban and say, look, this is the 17th COP. And within, by the time the first one started, these young kids were just basically being born 20 years ago at the first Rio. And here we are 17 years later. Are we going to take another 17 years to come up with a solution when it's really going to be critical for the continent? Because Africa is one of the poorest regions on the world, is the most affected by climate change. And the solutions that we put together as the continent develops have to cater to their growth, because those solutions are going to affect their everyday life and their ability to get jobs, their ability to join informal sectors. If we can't create manufacturing sectors because there are caps on the kind of emissions that we can create, then what do? What kind of jobs, what kind of industries are out there for them? So all of that is looming when you're looking at a continent of, a population of 500 million individuals who are going to be entering into these sectors, and the decisions made down in Durban by the heads of state will impact the livelihoods of these people. So it's really important so that they rise up and say, my voice counts. these decisions that you make are going to impact me. And if you don't make the decisions, for those that are active, here are some of the solutions we are doing locally. We're not going to wait, because if you're not going to take care of our future, we kind of need to do that, because whatever it is you decide, I still have to get from day to day.
Okay, and here we're talking about the youth heavily of social media. For those who want to be part of the dialogue, the conversation, to contribute, where can they find you?
So they can hit us up on Connect4climate.org. That's our main site. Or you can go to facebook.com /Connect4climate. Instead of FOR, it's the number 4, Connect4climate. On Facebook, we just crossed 30,000 fans on Facebook. So the conversation is growing.
And you just started.
We just started. Big. Yeah, just over a month ago.
That
we
is
just started.
Big.
So, I mean, if you can look at the speed of what it takes to get to 30,000 on an issue like this, if you think about climate change,
I know it's not the most sexy.
It's not
subject.
the sexiest thing that that the youth could be talking about. I mean, they could be talking about Derek Ashong or
Lady Gaga,
or Lady Gaga, for example. But climate change, surprisingly, is something that they're really attuned to. I mean, we have...
So that surprised you, like it's surprising most of us.
Yeah, I think it's surprising most of us is that the youth are really engaged in this conversation. Now, I think it powers the C4C team to say, what else can we offer them? What kind of tools can we offer them? I mean, we've got over 100 partners that are joining us, from UN organizations to the World Bank to grassroots organizations, luminaries and individuals on and off the continent that are saying, we are connected for climate. We really want to make this a global conversation, connecting people that have the information with the people that don't have that information. So that network is growing on its own, and we're leveraging our partners' relationships, their knowledge base, and their networks. And we really want to make it truly a global conversation on this very, very pertinent issue to the continent, and not just the continent really, because the solutions that could be developed perhaps in South America could also be relevant in the tropical belt in Uganda, for example. So that's one thing that really we can all either agree on or disagree on, but it affects all of us, from all the way down from Rio to Cape Town to Misrata, to DC. We all have to live under this weather, and it's connected, and all our activities affect that. However, whatever your opinion is, or whether climate change is or isn't, it's happening. And our future depends on the decisions we make to change our behavior. So it is important we tap into that energetic youth that is ready to make a change, because the behaviors they develop now will be the behaviors we hope that they can take into their adult lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
TMS Ruge, Connect4climate, thank you very much for coming in again.
Thank you for having me, and I'll be more than happy to come back again.
Absolutely. Thank you.